The following program contains strong language, violence, and sexual content. It is intended for mature audiences and may not be suitable for all viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Daughters got game, I'll give you that. I went in thinking I let them score a few easy points, but they didn't need me to hold back. Amon came at me like she was playing in the finals or something.
I warned you. She's competitive, and she hates losing with a passion. I have to calm her down on the trash talk sometimes. She must get that from Amari.
Nah, she definitely got it from you. She had me cracking up. She missed one shot and still told me I better guard her next time because she was about to cook me.
That's her love language. If she's clowning you, it means you passed the vibe check. If she didn't like you, she wouldn't have even passed you the ball.
That's cool. I'll take it. Honestly, though, it meant something to me being out there with them. I know you were going back and forth about me meeting them, so I don't take that lightly.
I had to be sure first. We've been dealing with a lot lately. Plus, Amari didn't seem to mind too much. He actually thought you had already met them because of our tattoos, so it just felt right.
Not gonna lie, I'm surprised he's being cool about it. I respect that. Y'all protect what's yours, and I see it in everything you do.
That's the only way I know how, especially now with this trial about to start. It feels like everybody's waiting for me to slip up so they can tear me apart.
How you feeling about it, though? Like, really? Are you ready?
Ready? No. Prepared? Kinda. I've been going over everything with Corey, but the thought of sitting there while people try to flip the story like I'm the villain eats at me.
I get that, but I mean it's more so about Harrison than it is about you. The system's cold, and the people in that room don't really care who you are. They just care about winning. But if you go in there being real, not rehearsed, people will feel that.
That's what Corey keeps saying. Stick to your truth. I'm trying, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. Phoenix acts like she's unfazed, but I know it's weighing on her too.
Y'all both got a lot riding on this, but you're not in it alone. You got Corey, and you got me now too.
That's what I'm holding on to. I just want peace when it's all over. No more lawyers, no more court dates, just me and my girls minding our business.
And you'll get there. This case don't define you. It's just another fight you gotta get through. And I'm not just here for the easy days, I'm here for the hard ones too.
You know, I've been thinking about us a lot lately. We've been spending more time together, and I really like where things are going.
I've been enjoying it too, more than I expected if I'm being honest. You've been steady, and that's not something I've been able to count on in a while.
That's exactly what I want to be for you. Steady, consistent, somebody you don't have to question. I don't believe in dragging things out when I know how I feel. And the truth is, I want to make this official.
Official? You mean like titles, all of that?
Yeah, like you being my girlfriend, I don't need anybody else. And I want to be able to say that out loud without hesitation.
Reese, I don't know how to even respond to that right this second. It's not that I don't feel something for you, it's just my head is a little clouded right now.
Clouded by what, Phoenix? Because I thought we were in a good place, and the vibe between us has been nothing but real.
The vibe is real, and I don't want you thinking otherwise. It's just something happened, And before I give you an answer, I need to be honest with you about it.
Honest? That sounds like I should brace myself. Go ahead, tell me what's on your mind.
When I met with Scarlett, it didn't just stop at us talking. We ended up kissing.
Wait, you kissed her? I sent you to just hear her out, not go rekindle some shit.
It wasn't planned, Reese. It wasn't some big thought out thing. It just happened in the moment. I didn't want to hide it from you though, because if we're going to build something real, you deserve to know.
I hear you saying it wasn't planned, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you still let it happen. If you really wanted to move forward with me, why even cross that line with her at all?
I've been carrying history with Scarlett for some time, way before you. And seeing her after everything that went down stirred up emotions I thought I had locked away. That doesn't excuse it, but it does explain why the moment even existed.
Phoenix, that sounds like you're still tied to her in some way. I can't be out here putting my all into this while you're still entertaining old connections.
I'm not entertaining her though, not in that way. If anything, that kiss made it clear to me that I don't want to go backwards because it didn't feel like closure. It felt like a mistake.
But do you understand how that puts me in a spot? I was ready to claim you tonight, ready to tell the world you were mine, and now I'm questioning if you're really ready to give me that same energy.
I want to give you that energy, but I needed to be upfront before I accepted anything from you. I'd rather you be upset with me for telling the truth than blindside you later.
I respect you being honest, but it changes things for me. It's hard to just pick up my glass and toast to us like nothing happened when I'm wondering where your heart really is.
So what are you saying? That one kiss is enough to erase everything we've been building these last few months?
I'm saying it makes me wonder if I should have listened when Vivian warned me about you. Back when I first told her I met someone named Phoenix, she said not to take you too seriously, that you'd end up hurting me sooner or later.
Hold on, Vivian said that about me? The same Vivian I call my friend? The same one who's been in my corner? That doesn't even make sense.
I didn't want to believe it because the Phoenix I was getting to know didn't line up with the picture she painted. But after tonight, after you telling me you kissed Scarlett, I can't lie. It feels like maybe she knew what she was talking about.
That's foul, Reese. Not only are you throwing something I admitted in honesty back in my face, but now you're telling me my own friend thinks I'm some kind of joke. You really think that's fair to say to me right now?
I'm not trying to tear you down, but I can't ignore what's in front of me. Maybe I should have trusted her instincts instead of thinking I was the exception.
Teagan, I want to walk you through what's going to happen in court because once you're on that stand, everything you say will be under a microscope. You're not the one on trial, but because of your history with Zoya and with Harrison, both sides are going to lean on your testimony to shape the narrative. So composure is everything.
I understand that, but it feels like no matter what I say, someone's going to twist it. Every headline has already painted me as guilty by association, and I don't want to make things worse for myself or for anybody else.
That's exactly why I'm prepping you, because the prosecution will likely focus on Zoya's lawsuit against you and Phoenix, and they'll press you on the details of your falling out with her. If they're smart, which they are, they'll want the jury to see motive. That maybe Harrison stepped in to silence her because she was a threat to people close to him, as well as his business. So your job is to keep your answers factual and controlled.
So when they start asking about Harrison, how far back are they really going to dig? Because my relationship with him is complicated, and I don't want to accidentally open a door they can use against me.
They'll definitely ask about your ties to Harrison and how often you were at his lounge, but the key is to answer only what you're asked. If the question is narrow, keep your answer narrow and don't volunteer extra information, even if you think it sounds helpful. They will be aggressive because they know you're high profile, and they can rattle you if you let them. They'll bring up the lawsuit, they may even bring up your divorce or your personal life, but you need to stay calm and give short, precise answers that don't show emotion.
I can handle being asked about Zoya, but if they bring up Amari or Nas or any of that personal stuff, I don't know if I'll keep my cool. The thought of them airing out my business in a courtroom makes me sick.
That's where discipline comes in, because jurors notice more than just your words. They notice your reactions. If you feel the question is unfair or irrelevant, pause and give the defense or prosecution a chance to object, but never show frustration or sarcasm, because that will be used against you.
So if I don't really want to answer something, what's the best way to respond? I don't want it to seem like I'm lying or dodging the question, but I also don't know everything they'll bring up.
If you don't know, say you don't know. And if you don't recall, say you don't recall. There is no harm in admitting the limits of your knowledge, and it's far better than guessing or speculating, which could give them ammunition to impeach your credibility later.
And what about Phoenix? Did you talk to her? I haven't been able to reach her at all today.
I haven't been able to reach her either, but I was planning on driving to her place next anyway. Regardless, I think you guys will do fine. If you remain calm, credible, and consistent, then even when they try to spin your words, the jury will see that you never wavered or lost your ground.
So what's really at stake here? I know Harrison and them are facing heavy charges, but how much of that is actually going to fall back on me?
They're facing racketeering, conspiracy, and murder charges, and if convicted, they could spend life in prison. You're not facing those charges, but if the prosecution or defense use language that manages to link you too closely to Harrison's dealings, it could drag your reputation and open you up to civil exposure down the line as it pertains to Zoya. Walk in there knowing you are not on trial, you are simply a witness, and if you keep your answers measured and honest, then nothing they throw at you can shake your credibility.
So, Atlas, before we even get into strategy, I need you to tell me what you actually know versus what you just believe. If all you've got are suspicions, Nancy will chew you up in 5 minutes.
It's not suspicion, Sean. I live with Kennedy. I know what happened. Nancy funneled money through her name, and Kennedy spent it like it was Monopoly money. She partied, she burned through it, and when it got too obvious, Nancy shipped her off to Tartosa to clean up the mess.
All right, but let me stop you there. Do you have anything concrete? Paper trail, receipts, a witness? Because if all we can say is Atlas remembers this, Nancy's lawyers will laugh while the judge bangs the gavel.
That's the problem, man. Nancy made sure to bury anything that could point back to her. I don't have the files or the statements, but I do remember coming home one night. I just finished the workout with my team, and Preston was laid out on the couch with a fever. Kennedy was gone, out at some club. I had to take care of him myself, and when she came back, she brushed it off like I was being dramatic.
Now that's something. Not because it's a smoking gun, but because it's real. It's human. And it shows the court she put her lifestyle before her son. Judges pay attention to that kind of detail. But we'd need to back it up somehow. Maybe medical records, maybe someone who saw you with Preston that night. Do you have anybody?
Not directly. I didn't exactly call people over to witness it. But I know it happened. And I know that wasn't the only time she left him behind because she had somewhere to be.
Okay, so we've got history but not proof. That means we'd need to dig. School records, travel logs, even people in Tartosa who saw her during that time. And let me be real with you. Nancy's going to fight to keep that door closed, because if it opens, it doesn't just expose Kennedy. It exposes Nancy, too.
That's exactly why I'm here. The last lawyer heard this story and basically told me I didn't stand a chance because Nancy controls the narrative. He said I was wasting my money even trying. But I can't just roll over and let my son grow up thinking I didn't fight for him.
Good, because I don't take cases for people looking to roll over. But let me set expectations. This won't be quick, and it won't be clean. You want me to take on Nancy Landgrab, you have to be prepared for her to come at you from every angle. Your career, your reputation, even your mistakes.
I don't care what she throws at me. Kennedy didn't take Preston because it was the best move for him. She took him because she was mad at me. I cheated, yeah. And she weaponized that to run off with my son. That's not co-parenting. That's punishment. And I'm not going to let that be the end of the story.
Then we've got something to work with. The angle isn't Kennedy is a terrible mother today, because she isn't, not right now. The angle is she acted out of spite. She disrupted Preston's stability and she used him as leverage. That's where we draw the line and show you as the steady hand.
So you're telling me there's actually a case here, that it's not just me shouting into the wind?
I'm telling you it's possible, but it's going to take digging, patience, and discipline. I've gone against people nastier than Nancy, and I know how to keep you insulated from the fallout. If we're smart, we can force her to realize that pressing this fight risks exposing things she'd rather keep buried.
That's all I needed to hear. I'm not asking for easy. I'm asking for possible. If you're willing to go there with me, then I'll give you everything I've got.
Then let's do it. But understand, Atlas, this won't be about who shouts the loudest. It'll be about who controls the story. And if you trust me, I'll make sure Nancy realizes this isn't the open and shut case she thinks it is.
I've been patient, need a way to get through, but you've been making me feel like, it's nothing I can do. I gotta be your only. I'll make a promise to you, right hand to God, I'll go hard. I'd be the reason that you think with your heart, yeah. If you could feel for me the way I feel for you, yeah, for me, then I could be the one for you.
I haven't heard from you since that lunch date. I've been calling, I even sent flowers to your office, and you didn't say a word back to me. I thought at the very least you'd acknowledge me, even if you were mad.
I didn't respond because there wasn't anything left to say, Amari. That entire situation was messy, and it should have never happened in the first place. I crossed the line that put both of our reputations at risk, and that's something I can't ignore no matter what my personal feelings might be.
Messy? It was just lunch, and I told you I was single. I didn't plan for Tia to pull up and make a scene like that, and honestly, she blew it way out of proportion. You know I wanted to spend more time with you, and I still do, regardless of what happened that day.
Whether you planned it or not, it happened, and the optics were terrible. I am your brand liaison, the person responsible for securing and protecting your endorsements, and I compromised that role by entertaining you outside of business. If anyone had taken a picture or recorded that exchange, you and I would both be cleaning up a firestorm that could have cost you millions and cost me my career.
But nobody did, and that's what I'm saying. It stayed between us, and we got lucky. I'm not willing to just chalk it up as a mistake and walk away from it like it meant nothing. You can keep trying to act like this is about professionalism, but I can tell that lunch wasn't one-sided.
You're right that it wasn't one-sided, and that's exactly why I have to own my part in it. I let myself get caught up and believe you when you said you were single, and that was naive on my part. I should have been more disciplined and reminded myself that I can't afford to blur those lines with clients, no matter how charming or persistent they are.
Mercedes, I'm not some random client off the street. We have chemistry, and you felt it just like I did, and you can't sit here and act like it didn't shake you a little. I've been with plenty of women, but there's something different when I'm standing in front of you, and I'm not gonna let that go so easily.
Chemistry doesn't erase consequences, Amari. I have worked too hard to establish myself at Capricorn Entertainment, and one wrong move could wipe away everything I've built. This isn't about pretending I didn't feel anything. It's about being clear that my career and integrity matter more than any fleeting attraction.
You're really gonna stand here and call it fleeting when you know that's not what it is. If you didn't care, you would have brushed me off the second I asked you out, but you didn't. You said yes, you sat across from me, and you gave me every reason to believe this was the start of something real.
What I gave you was a moment of weakness, not the start of anything. I should have kept things professional, and I regret letting curiosity get in the way of common sense. If you want to take it personally, that's on you. But I can't allow myself to be tangled up in your situation when you still have someone living in your house. It doesn't matter if you think she doesn't matter, Amari, because her presence still exists in your life and in the public's eyes. Until that chapter is officially closed, you're not a free man, and I won't be the woman people whisper about behind closed doors. My name carries weight in this building, and I refuse to let it be reduced to gossip or scandal.
Man, I ain't trying to hear all that. You're making this harder than it has to be, Mercedes. You're standing here acting like every decision has to run through a PR filter, when sometimes it's just about what feels right.
Then you'll have to learn how to handle disappointment, because my answer is final. I am here to do my job, and that means focusing on building your brand, not indulging in something that could destroy both of ours. This is where the line is drawn, Amari, and I need you to accept it for both our sakes. Step into the world of Capricorn Sims. Here, you'll find a space built for fans, creators, and supporters to connect in real time. From channel hubs like the Meme Gallery and the Sims Chat, to exclusive spots like the Inner Circle Lounge and Capricorn Court, there's always something happening. Whether you want to talk Sims, share your favorite moments, or just hang out, this is where the conversation never stops. Join the Discord today and make your mark inside the cult.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, over this case, you will hear evidence that paints a very clear picture of the man sitting before you. Harrison Stallings was not just a businessman. He was the architect of a criminal network that thrived off fear, manipulation, and money. You'll hear how his lounge operated as a legitimate business by day and a hub for narcotics distribution by night. You'll see financial records that show money being funneled through shell companies, disguised as entertainment expenses and funneled right back into Stallings' accounts. The state will present testimony from witnesses who were once close to him, people who saw how orders were given, how debts were collected, and how silence was enforced. Among them is a former associate who will testify that Stallings personally ordered the kidnapping and murder of Zoya Sullivan after Zoya inadvertently blew his cover. Now, the defense will try to tell you that these witnesses can't be trusted. They'll claim this is all gossip, that these are desperate people looking to save themselves. But what they won't be able to explain away are the calls, the bank transfers, and the gaps in surveillance footage that conveniently disappear the night Zoya vanished. This isn't about rumor. This is about pattern, precision, and power. The evidence will show that Harrison Stallings didn't just run a club. He ran a criminal empire built on intimidation, greed, and silence. And at the end of this trial, when you've heard every fact and seen every detail, you'll see that the only just verdict is guilty.
Members of the jury, what you just heard was a story. A compelling one, sure, but a story nonetheless. The prosecution is woven together fragments of rumor, fear, and circumstantial evidence into something that looks convincing at first glance. But when you start to pull at the threads, you'll see how quickly it all unravels. The state wants you to believe that Mr. Stallings is a criminal mastermind who commands violence from behind the walls of his business. Yet they can't produce a single piece of direct evidence linking him to any act of murder, conspiracy, or narcotics distribution. No recordings, no signed orders, no eyewitness who isn't trying to save themselves from their own charges. You'll hear from a woman who claims she knows everything, but you'll also learn that she's accepted immunity in exchange for her cooperation. You'll see that she's changed her story twice, and you'll realize that her testimony is the prosecution's lifeline, not the truth. This trial isn't about guilt. It's about assumption. It's about taking a man's reputation, his livelihood, and twisting it into something criminal because it makes a better headline. When you strip away the sensational headlines and hearsay, you'll see the truth, that Harrison Stallings is not a killer. He's a man being punished for the company he keeps.
Thank you. Prosecution, you may call your first witness.
The state calls Detective Bob Pancakes to the stand.
Detective Pancakes, please state your name and occupation for the record.
Detective Robert Pancakes, San Myshuno Police Department, Major Crimes Division. I've been in law enforcement for over 20 years, primarily handling organized crime investigations.
Detective, how long have you been familiar with the defendant, Harrison Stallings?
I first heard his name a few years ago, when his lounge started attracting attention from both the press and our department. Publicly, he was viewed as a successful businessman, but behind closed doors, his reputation was anything but clean.
Could you elaborate on that reputation for the court?
There were consistent rumors of narcotics, illegal gambling, and money being funneled through his establishment. Even other business owners described him as someone whose presence brought both prestige and trouble.
Objection. Speculation. Unless Detective Pancakes has psychic abilities, he can't speak for what other business owners think.
Overruled. The witness may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. What I can confirm is that Harrison Stallings was known to police long before this case. His name appeared repeatedly in unrelated investigations: money laundering, racketeering, and even missing persons, though we could never connect him directly.
So what triggered the investigation that led to this trial?
Leaked photographs. They surfaced in the press showing narcotics on tables inside the lounge. Those photos aligned with intel we'd already received from the FBI, which had been quietly building a case around the same network.
Are you saying the FBI was already investigating Mr. Stallings before your department got involved?
That's correct. Our office began cooperating once the images confirmed what they suspected. They believed Stallings' business was being used to move product and launder money through legitimate entertainment ventures.
And during your own investigation, what did you find?
Multiple financial discrepancies, connections between his accounts and known felons, and an unusual number of businesses tied to Stallings reporting missing or corrupted security footage. We have reason to believe someone was helping him cover his tracks, but we haven't identified who.
Detective, you just admitted you have no idea who supposedly helped my client, yet you're comfortable implying he's behind all of it. Isn't that a leap of logic?
No, it's based on pattern and probability. When the same anomalies show up at establishments linked to the same man, we don't call that coincidence.
So you're convicting by pattern, not by proof. You said the FBI suspected him. You said your office believed he was laundering money. You said footage was missing, not that he deleted it. That's a whole lot of assumptions, isn't it?
Objection. Argumentative.
Sustained. Counsel, rephrase your question.
Detective, do you have any physical evidence tying Mr. Stallings personally, not as employees, not as business, to narcotics or to the disappearance of Zoya Sullivan?
Directly? No fingerprints or DNA, if that's what you're asking. But when the people connected to him keep ending up missing or dead, it's hard to believe he's just unlucky.
Or maybe it's hard for you to separate rumor from responsibility. You've clearly decided who Mr. Stallings is before you ever had facts to prove it.
Objection. Counsel is badgering the witness.
Overruled. The witness will answer the question.
I don't base my work on rumor. I base it on patterns that repeat until someone stops them.
And yet you just told this court you can't identify who tampered with evidence or where those photos came from. So again, what proof do you have that my client orchestrated any of this?
Objection. Leading and prejudicial.
Sustained. The jury will disregard the last question.
No further questions, Your Honor.
The witness may step down. Mr. Sinclair, please state your occupation for the record.
I'm an attorney. I previously represented Ms. Zoya Sullivan in her civil case against Teagan Saige Monroe and Phoenix Monroe.
And what was that case about?
Ms. Sullivan alleged she was assaulted by the Monroes after rumors surfaced she'd been involved with Amari McAllister. The suit centered on assault and emotional distress.
During your time as her counsel, did you observe her physical or emotional condition?
I did. She had bruising along her ribs and jaw and was visibly shaken, as if she expected someone to show up at any moment.
Did she ever express fear for her safety?
Yes. She told me she felt she was being watched. Said there was a car that parked outside her building several nights in a row. Same make, different plates.
Objection. Speculation.
Overruled. The witness may continue.
I'd call it more than speculation. She'd show up to our meetings exhausted, convinced her phone was tapped. It wasn't paranoia, it was pattern.
In your professional opinion, did Miss Sullivan have reason to be afraid?
Absolutely. Between the online threats, the leaked photos, and her public fallout with the Monroes, she had every reason.
Did she ever mention Mr. Stallings or his establishment?
Once. She said, quote, "That lounge started it all."
Objection. Hearsay.
Sustained. Jury will disregard. Proceed.
Based on the evidence, did you believe Miss Sullivan could win her case?
Not realistically. It was her word against theirs, but she said she'd rather lose telling the truth than win pretending nothing happened.
Did anything unusual occur while you represented her?
I received anonymous calls telling me to let it go. Witnesses recanted. It felt coordinated.
Objection. Assumption of conspiracy.
Overruled. The jury will determine the weight of that statement.
What I know is, Zoya Sullivan was terrified. She told me she'd rather be embarrassed than buried, and now she's gone.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense may cross.
Mr. Sinclair, you make a living from publicity, don't you? Interviews, panel discussions, podcasts. You enjoy the spotlight.
I enjoy the truth being heard. Sometimes that happens under bright lights.
Or perhaps when the cameras are rolling. You've represented celebrities before. Their scandals pay your bills, correct?
Their cases pay my bills. Scandal just follows the money.
You stated Miss Sullivan felt watched. You have no proof of that, do you? No police report, no security footage, no witness.
Proof? Nope. Credibility? Yes. I had no reason to doubt her.
Isn't it true she was emotional and unpredictable, sometimes argumentative during meetings?
She was frustrated, not unstable. There's a difference between fear and fury.
And isn't it also true that you told Miss Sullivan her case was weak?
I told her the system favors power. That's not weakness, that's reality.
Yet you filed anyway, because her story was profitable.
Because she deserved representation. You don't get to profit off fear by calling it charity.
You mentioned anonymous calls. Can you confirm those came from my client?
I never said they did. but whoever made them knew details only connected to that lounge.
So in other words, you're speculating.
In other words, I'm connecting dots no one else wanted to.
Mr. Sinclair, are you aware that your former client's credibility was questioned by multiple outlets after inconsistencies in her timeline?
I'm aware people will say anything to protect an empire.
Including you.
Including me, if I thought lying would keep her alive.
So you admit you're capable of lying under oath?
I said if. But I'm not lying today.
You're implying my client, Mr. Stallings, had something to do with her disappearance, aren't you?
I'm implying she was afraid of powerful people in this city, and fear doesn't grow in a vacuum.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. McAllister, please state your occupation for the record.
I'm a cornerback for the Brindleton Bay Buccaneers.
You were married to recording artist Teagan Saige Monroe during the period Ms. Zoya Sullivan was employed in your household, correct?
Correct.
And you knew Miss Sullivan personally?
She worked for my family, helped with the kids. You see somebody every day, you get to know them.
How would you describe that relationship?
Professional. For a while, anyway.
For a while. What changed?
You're asking if I slept with her, so let's stop dancing. Yeah, I did. Once it started, it shouldn't have. I take full responsibility for that.
So you admit to having an affair with your children's nanny while married?
I admit to doing something stupid that cost me a lot more than I bargained for.
That revelation led to the confrontation between your wife, her sister, Phoenix Monroe, and Ms. Sullivan, didn't it?
It led to a lot of emotions boiling over, yeah. I wasn't there when they fought, but I was the reason they did. Nobody wins in that kind of mess.
Ms. Sullivan filed a civil suit shortly after, claiming your wife and her sister attacked her. Were you aware of that before it went public?
I found out the same time everybody else did. I saw her shortly after and I told her to drop it. She didn't like that answer.
You seem dismissive of a woman who later vanished.
I'm dismissive of how she moved, not what happened to her. I didn't make her disappear, and I sure didn't tell anybody else to.
Interesting choice of words, Mr. McAllister. Let's talk about your connection to the defendant, Harrison Stallings. How do you know him?
Through Teagan. They grew up together. He's always been around the industry. I tolerated him when I had to. That's about it.
Tolerated doesn't sound friendly.
It wasn't. We don't like each other. Never did.
Yet witnesses claim you two were involved in a violent altercation inside the Capricorn Entertainment boardroom earlier this year. Care to explain that?
There was no fight. Somebody started a rumor, and the internet did the rest.
Are you denying you were physically assaulted by the defendant?
I'm denying the whole story. If somebody got stomped out in that building, it wasn't me.
Convenient, because that supposed altercation happened the same week your former wife was seen with a black eye. Care to explain how she acquired such an injury?
What are you trying to insinuate here?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance and speculation. Mr. McAllister isn't on trial, and that question's designed to prejudice the jury against my client.
Sustained. Counsel, move on.
Understood, Your Honor. Let's refocus then. Mr. McAllister, you maintain there was no altercation at Capricorn Entertainment.
I maintain it because it's the truth.
You expect this court to take your word, given your history of deception?
My history's public record. I cheated. I lied to my wife. I own that.
It sounds like Mr. Stallings might have done what plenty of people wanted to do for a long time.
Objection. Argumentative.
One might even believe that you were the one who gave Ms. Monroe that black eye, and Mr. Stallings simply stepped in to defend his ex-girlfriend against you.
Objection. Speculative, inflammatory, and entirely improper.
Sustained. Jury will disregard the last statement. Counsel, watch your tone.
You real bold saying that. You ever met Harrison? He don't need a reason to swing, but if he did, it sure as hell wouldn't be for me.
Then what was it for, Mr. McAllister?
Ask him. He's sitting right there. But I'll tell you this. If you think that man did all this behind Teagan's name, you don't know her or him like you think you do.
Enlighten us then.
Harrison's the type to protect what's his. Teagan ain't been his for a long time.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Defense.
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. McAllister, you may step down. Court will reconvene after recess.
Tell the driver give us 5 more minutes, 'cause I wanna take my time with it. Oh, yeah. You ain't tell your girls you was out
You really just said that boardroom fight never happened?
What fight? I'm a man of peace now. Must have been a hologram.
You could have destroyed Harrison with that. I know what they were trying to prove.
Yeah, and what does that get me? Another headline, another fine, another PR nightmare? Nah, I'll take my L in silence for once.
I'm surprised.
So am I. Guess I'm maturing against my will.
You've actually been calm lately. It's weird.
See, now you finna jinx it.
Speaking of headlines, I heard about Tia running up on you and Mercedes. You know people talk around here. Nothing stays quiet long in this city.
Damn, that's crazy. But I got a handle for real.
Mercedes seems really sweet, Amari. She doesn't need to be mixed up in any of that drama. If you really like her, do right by her.
Look at Miss SMZ giving relationship advice. You trying to tell me I'm the problem?
I'm saying maybe you were, but you don't have to keep being one. And before I forget, you've been ducking my questions about why Aman wanted to leave early last weekend.
I'm not ducking. I'm just trying to avoid pointless drama. Tia was upset about something. It got messy and Aman heard something she shouldn't have.
That's exactly what I mean. You need someone who respects your kids, Amari. If she can't do that, she doesn't respect you.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
She didn't respect what we had either. And we both know how that ended.
You mean with me getting stomped out in front of Capricorn? Yeah, I remember.
Maybe it was necessary. You needed some sense knocked into you. I think it might have worked.
In the world of Teagan Saige, the drama doesn't stop when the credits roll. It lives on in the headlines, in the press posts, and across every corner of social media. If you skip out on the sim reel, you're skipping out on half the story. Before every episode, our panel breaks down the latest scandals, exposes the biggest rumors, and reacts to the stories that have everyone talking. From Amari's public meltdowns to Teagan's whirlwind romances to the secrets Capricorn Entertainment doesn't want you to know, nothing is off limits. The sim reel is your guide through the chaos, the commentary, and the culture that surrounds the Saige universe. Don't just watch the drama, understand it. The sim reel, part of the Teagan Saige universe.
Miss Sims, please state your occupation for the record.
I'm the founder and CEO of Capricorn Entertainment Group.
That company also manages several artists, correct?
We manage, produce, and distribute content across music, television, and digital media, yes.
Including the defendant, Mr. Harrison Stallings.
Harrison Stallings is one of many artists signed to Capricorn Entertainment.
On paper, he's your employee, but sources suggest your relationship extends beyond a standard artist-contract dynamic. Would that be accurate?
I consider all of my talent family. That's how I run my company.
Family? Interesting. Financial records show several large wire transfers from Capricorn Entertainment to Mr. Stallings' lounge under DBA Stallings Social. Would you call that family support as well?
It's called investment. Capricorn supports venues that promote our artists and brand visibility. Harrison's Lounge is a nightlife extension of the Capricorn brand.
Nightlife extension or money laundering front.
Objection. Assumes facts not in evidence and highly prejudicial to the defendant.
Sustained. Rephrase, counsel.
Ms. Sims, is Capricorn Entertainment currently under investigation for financial irregularities?
Not to my knowledge. If we were, I'm sure my legal team would have briefed me.
You're saying you personally oversee all of the company's financial activity?
I oversee the people who oversee it. I'm a CEO, not a bookkeeper.
So if illegal transfers were happening, it's possible they occurred without your awareness?
Anything's possible, counselor, but unlikely. My team is vetted, my systems audited. I don't run a lemonade stand.
Yet the money trail leads directly from your company accounts into the defendant's establishment. Cash that disappears off the books.
Disappears implies intent. You're assuming mismanagement when it could be sponsorship, charity, or standard entertainment expenses. Capricorn hosts events there monthly. You've been to one, haven't you?
This isn't about my social calendar, Miss Sims.
Then maybe focus on facts, not parties.
Did you or did you not approve recurring wire transfers totaling over $300,000 to Stallings Social?
I approved artist engagement budgets. The specific allocations are handled by my finance department.
And who runs that department?
You can check the public registry, counselor. I'm not here to do your homework.
Miss Sims, are you aware that some of those same transactions coincided with spikes in Mr. Stallings' reported cash revenue?
You mean he made money during events I funded? That's kind of the point.
Do you find it unusual that his revenue doubled while no verifiable performances occurred?
Not when you're hot. Harrison Stallings is a name people show up for. Sometimes people pay to be seen in the same room. That's business, not bribery.
You sound remarkably composed for someone being accused of laundering money.
That's because I know what I'm not guilty of.
You sure about that?
I'm sure enough to sleep at night. Are you?
Miss Sims, just to clarify, all financial transactions between Capricorn and Stallings Social were business related and documented through proper channels.
Correct. Every payment was categorized as sponsorship or promotional engagement.
And you've cooperated fully with law enforcement during this investigation.
Absolutely. Capricorn Entertainment has nothing to hide.
In your opinion, has the media's coverage of this case impacted public perception of both your company and Mr. Stallings?
Tremendously. We've been tried in the court of public opinion since the first headline dropped. This trial is just the sequel.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
You testified earlier that you consider Mr. Stallings family. Would you do anything to protect family, Ms. Sims?
Within reason.
Even if that meant shielding him from criminal exposure?
I'm not shielding anyone. I'm explaining business.
Business that conveniently turns company losses into his profit. You're telling this court that was all branding?
Branding, partnerships, marketing, yes. The entertainment industry moves money constantly. You wouldn't call it suspicious if it was a film studio or a streaming deal.
Except film studios don't wire funds to bars with no verifiable income reports and no working security cameras the night a woman vanished near that same property.
Objection. Prejudicial.
Overruled. The line of questioning stands.
Ms. Sims, isn't it possible your branding investments were used to funnel illicit funds and conceal criminal activity, whether you knew it or not?
Anything's possible. But I deal in facts, not hypotheticals.
Here's a fact. The same account you used to fund Stallings Social also sent payments to a construction company that doesn't exist. That's fraud, Ms. Sims.
I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation.
Then I hope your accountant testifies better than you do.
Objection.
Sustained. Counsel, enough.
One final question. If those transfers weren't laundering money, Ms. Sims, what were they?
Marketing partnerships. Artist promotion. Business as usual, like I told you.
Business as usual that made your company's cash vanish and his profits explode.
Believe what you want, counselor, but the truth doesn't change just because you dress it up in accusation.
Or maybe the truth is that Capricorn Entertainment was never a label at all. Just a front for Harrison Stallings to wash your dirty money.
Objection.
Withdrawn. No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Monroe, please state your occupation for the record.
Model. Baddie. Sometimes troublemaker, depending on who you ask.
You're signed to Capricorn Entertainment, correct?
That's right. Been there for like 2 years. Longest relationship I've ever had that didn't end in flames.
Ms. Monroe, you're aware of the leaked photos from earlier this year, the ones taken inside Harrison's lounge, showing a bathroom counter filled with controlled substances visible in the background?
Oh, yeah, I've seen them. Terrible lighting, by the way. Whoever took those pictures did me so dirty.
Miss Monroe.
No, I'm serious. Like, at least catch my good side before you ruin my career.
Ms. Monroe, are you confirming you were present at Harrison's lounge the night those photos were taken?
I mean, it's my friend's lounge. We all hang out there. Teagan, Harrison, sometimes even Viv. Well, not anymore. She's busy telling people I'm bad news.
I'll remind you that you're under oath.
Yeah. Oath, truth, whole truth. Nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Oh, this is a disaster.
Ms. Monroe, can you describe the events that night?
We were celebrating. I think someone got a deal or lost one. I don't remember. There was music, champagne, and yeah, some people doing what people in this industry do when they think no one's watching.
You mean using illegal drugs?
I mean, define illegal. Like if it's in a different country, it's still, okay, fine. Yeah, there were drugs, but not like cartel drugs, just creative fuel.
Creative fuel provided by whom?
I don't know, it was just there. It's always there. Look, I'm not saying Harrison personally served me a tray, but like if it's his lounge, then technically.
So you're implying Mr. Stallings facilitated drug use inside his establishment?
No, I'm implying that people bring their own. It's like a BYOC situation. Bring your own chaos.
Objection. Non-responsive and...
Sustained. Ms. Monroe, please focus on the question.
Right. Focus. Got it.
Did you personally consume drugs that night?
I mean, I plead the fifth, right? That's the thing people say?
This is not a game, Ms. Monroe.
It kind of feels like one.
Ms. Monroe, were you and Ms. Teagan Saige Monroe under the influence when the altercation with Ms. Sullivan occurred?
Absolutely not. I was stone cold focused. Like, mostly. I mean, there was that one time the champagne hit weird, but...
Did Mr. Stallings provide you with any substances that night?
No! Harrison doesn't share. I mean, he's not... Look, the man runs a club, not a pharmacy.
You're saying you've never seen him participate in or supply drugs?
Participate? Maybe. Supply? Depends who you ask. You ever met a man who says he doesn't know where it came from, but it always magically appears? Yeah, like that.
Objection. Speculation.
Sustained. Ms. Monroe, you will not speculate about the defendant's behavior.
Fine. Then put Vivian on the stand. She's the one who told Reese I'm unstable. Which, for the record, is rude and only slightly accurate.
Ms. Monroe, please.
No, seriously, since we're all telling the truth now. Viv got in his head, told him I was a problem, and surprise, I become a problem. Congratulations, Viv. Manifestation works.
Ms. Monroe.
I'm just saying, if Vivian Watts can run PR for half this city while sleeping with my quarterback ex, I can handle a few white lines and a heartbreak.
Enough! Ms. Monroe, that's enough. Bailiff, escort the witness from the stand. We are taking a recess immediately.
Oh, come on. Everybody's done worse in that lounge. Ask half your jury.
Phoenix, what the hell was that? What were you thinking saying all that about Harrison and Vivian? They're our friends.
What? I was just being honest. Everyone wanted the truth, right? I gave them a whole damn documentary.
You were rambling, Fee. You made it sound like we host Coke parties for fun.
Don't act like that's far off. Half of those people in there snort their stress before brunch.
That's not the point. What's going on with you? You were slurring your words in front of the judge.
I'm fine, Teague. Seriously.
No, you're not. You're high, aren't you? Phoenix, we just got through this. What happened?
To be honest, I'm just tired of trying to be perfect. It doesn't work anyway. Every time I get my feet under me, somebody kicks the ground out.
Who kicked it out this time?
Viv told Reese I'm no good. Things were going good with us. We were talking about the future. And all because I wanted to be truthful and shit, he left. Talking about maybe she was right. Fuck them.
Vivian said that?
Yeah. Miss High and Mighty PR Princess said that about me. All the shit I let her get away with. When I see her, I'm gonna punch her.
Look, I get it. That hurts. But you can't keep blaming everyone else for your problems. Viv maybe shouldn't have told him that, but she isn't to blame for this.
Don't start preaching, Teague. You're not exactly a saint sitting here looking like two idiots getting your names tattooed on each other. Funny enough, me and Toy placed a bet on when y'all are gonna break up. I give it 2 months.
You're going through something right now, so I'm going to choose to not be offended by you. You're out here self-destructing at the worst possible time right now. All of this over a man? Phoenix, you need to at least try to do better.
I'm tired of trying. You ever think of that? Just let me have my fun the way I wanna.
Fee, you're better than this. You're smarter than this. You need to stop choosing the version of yourself that hurts the most people, including you.
Or I'll go find my dealer/life coach and figure it out. Good luck on the stand, superstar.
Ms. Monroe, please state your occupation for the record.
I'm a recording artist.
And you were previously married to Mr. Amari McAllister, correct?
Yes?
You're also the sister of Phoenix Monroe who testified just before you today?
Yes, that's correct.
Ms. Monroe, you were named in a civil suit filed by Ms. Zoya Sullivan, alleging physical assault. Is that also accurate?
Yes, the case was dismissed.
But it was filed. And you maintained that Ms. Sullivan attacked you first. Ms. Sullivan, however, alleged that you and your sister beat her over rumors of an affair with your husband, which she maintained wasn't true.
She lied.
So, to be clear, you had no reason to harbor anger or resentment toward Ms. Sullivan after she filed a lawsuit accusing you of assault and defamation?
I was upset for a while, sure, but I wasn't angry.
Upset enough to visit Mr. Harrison Stallings the week those photos leaked. Photos showing your sister and Ms. Scarlett Briggs using cocaine inside his lounge.
Excuse me?
You visited Mr. Stallings' lounge shortly after the drug photos surfaced. Isn't that correct?
Yes, I did, but...
So you did visit?
I went there because I thought one of his employees leaked the photos. I was trying to figure out who.
So you were angry? Angry enough to confront him directly?
I didn't confront him. I asked questions.
Did you raise your voice?
I might
Did
have...
you threaten him or anyone on his staff?
No.
Did you mention Miss Sullivan during that visit?
No, she wasn't part of that conversation. I had no reason to suspect her of anything at that time.
Are you certain? Because surveillance footage places you at the lounge for nearly 40 minutes. That's a long time for a simple check-in. So did you or did you not discuss Zoya at this meeting?
I don't remember. This meeting with Harrison was not about Zoya.
Ms. Monroe, are you telling this court that you, a woman publicly accused of assault by Ms. Sullivan, never once mentioned her name while meeting privately with the defendant days before she disappeared?
That's not what happened. I told him to find out who leaked the photos. That's all I said.
Find out who leaked the photos. So you asked him to handle it for you.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant I wanted whoever did it fired, not...
Fired or silenced?
Objection. Argumentative and inflammatory.
Sustained. Counsel, rephrase your question.
Ms. Monroe, did you at any point tell Mr. Stallings that Ms. Sullivan needed to be dealt with?
What? No, never.
So if Mr. Stallings decided to take matters into his own hands, you'd have no idea what triggered that decision? You just happened to visit him right before she vanished. So the timing was just coincidence. Ms. Monroe, do you make a habit of personally confronting club owners when you're upset? Or just this one?
Harrison is my friend.
Friend, huh? And how far does that friendship go?
Objection.
Sustained.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Monroe, just to clarify, your visit to Mr. Stallings' lounge was a professional conversation about the photo leak, correct? You never instructed or implied that Mr. Stallings should retaliate against Ms. Sullivan in any way.
Never.
Ms. Monroe, one last thing. After your professional conversation, Mr. Stallings' club shut down security access for 3 days. No staff changes, no media statements. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
I didn't know that. I wouldn't know.
You didn't know or you didn't ask? Better yet, let me ask you this. How many times has Harrison Stallings gotten violent on your behalf?
Objection.
Withdrawn. No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Briggs, for the record, please state your full name and occupation.
My name is Scarlett Briggs. I work as a model signed under Capricorn Entertainment.
And through your association with Capricorn Entertainment, did you come to know the defendant, Mr. Harrison Stallings?
Yes, I did. Our paths crossed because of Capricorn. He's a signed artist, and I was eventually pushed into situations that put me directly in contact with him.
Describe those situations for the jury.
Well, it started with me being told I'd work appearances at his lounge, that I'd bring a certain image, glamour, attention, but it didn't stop there. I was expected to entertain clients, to escort them. And Harrison was the one who had the final say in who I'd be seen with, how often, and in what capacity. It wasn't really a choice for me.
So Harrison Stallings himself gave you instructions about escorting clients?
He and Capricorn, yes. They made it clear this was part of what I had to do if I wanted to stay in their good graces. Harrison would check in, sometimes directly, and he'd let me know if I was doing enough or if he expected more.
Now, Ms. Briggs, I want to move to your knowledge about 2 individuals, Zoya Sullivan and Safina Rashad. Did you know them personally?
I knew of them. I knew who Zoya was because of her proximity to Teagan. And Safina, I brought her into something I shouldn't have.
What do you mean by that?
I was the one who told Zoya about the photos. Photos that Safina provided. It showed things going on in Harrison's lounge, drug and activities that shouldn't have been happening. I thought if I gave that to her, it would hit Phoenix hard. She made enemies out of all 3 of us. So we wanted to bring her down. I wasn't thinking about Harrison or the bigger picture. I was angry and I wanted to hurt Phoenix.
Did Mr. Stallings find out about this leak?
Yes, he knew. He confronted me about it. And from that point on, my life, it wasn't mine anymore.
What happened after he confronted you?
I was told directly that Zoya and Safina would not be problems anymore. The words were, they're gone. I understood that to mean that they had been killed.
Silence! Silence in the courtroom. Witness, continue.
Just so the jury is clear, Harrison Stallings told you Zoya and Safina were gone. You believed that meant dead?
Yes, but I thought that's what he meant, but maybe I misunderstood. People say things, and when you're scared, sometimes you hear more than what's really there.
Ms. Briggs, isn't it true you lured Safina Rashad to your apartment, knowing that someone was waiting for her?
I asked her to come, yes. I said we'd talk. I didn't know exactly what would happen.
Who was waiting for her?
Dre, Harrison's guy. He was there when she arrived, and he took her.
And Dre is Harrison's right hand, correct?
That's what people say. I never saw him. I didn't see him take orders directly.
Ms. Briggs, yes or no? Does Dre work for Harrison Stallings?
Yes, I guess.
And when Dre took Safina, you knew exactly why he was there, didn't you?
I don't know. I thought I knew, but now sitting here, I don't know anymore.
Ms. Briggs, you gave a sworn statement weeks ago saying Harrison Stallings ordered Dre to eliminate Safina Rashad. Did you say that?
I said that then, yes, but I was terrified. And when you're terrified, you say things. You piece things together because you want it off your chest. Maybe I connected dots that weren't really there to connect. Maybe I said it because it felt true at the time.
Are you telling this jury you lied under oath in your statement? Ms. Briggs, you said Harrison Stallings ordered Dre to take Safina Rashad, isn't that correct?
Scarlett, you can't testify.
It's not that easy. If I slip even once, they'll throw me to the wolves and call it my fault.
You're telling me you got no say in your own life now? That you just let them pull the strings and hope it don't get you killed?
No, I'm saying I was scared, and maybe I got it wrong.
Ms. Briggs, you are under oath. This court will not tolerate evasive answers. You must answer clearly.
I can't. I'm not sure.
Ms. Briggs, I'd like to clarify a few things. You testified just now that you don't recall whether Harrison Stallings gave any orders. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ms. Briggs, do you stand by the statements you made weeks ago to investigators?
I don't know. I thought they were true then, but I don't know anymore.
So today, under oath, you admit you can't say with certainty what Harrison Stallings did or didn't do. Did you ever personally witness Mr. Stallings harm Zoya Sullivan? Did you even personally witness Mr. Stallings harm Safina Rashad? In fact, you admit that you invited Safina to your apartment, correct? The only thing we know to be true is that you were the last person to see Safina and Zoya alive. How do we know you didn't harm them?
Objection, badgering the witness.
Sustained. Counsel will rephrase.
Ms. Briggs, you've admitted you don't recall key details. You've admitted you never saw Harrison commit a violent act. You've admitted you played a role in bringing Safina into danger. So tell this jury, why should they believe a single word you've said about Harrison Stallings?
I don't know anymore. Maybe they shouldn't.
No further questions, Your Honor. The defense rests.
When this trial began, the state promised clarity, the kind that cuts through doubt and shines light on guilt. Today, we've watched that light dim. We've seen reputations crumble, alliances fracture, and truths bend until they nearly broke. The defense painted a picture of chaos, of loyalty and survival. The prosecution painted one of power, corruption, and silence. Both portraits were compelling, both marred by shadows. What this court cannot ignore is the gravity of what has been said in this room. 2 women are missing. A legacy is stained, and a city that once worshipped its idols now questions the price of their devotion. Mr. Stallings, you have sat here as witness after witness took this stand, each one convinced of their own version of who you are. For many watching, that version is already written. And for a moment, even this court wondered whether redemption could exist for a man so steeped in rumor and fear. If this were a nation ruled by emotion, by instinct, by outrage, this case would have ended long before today. I would have signed the order myself. Because everything about this trial reeks of guilt, of a man protected not by innocence, but by influence. But this is not that nation. Here in San Myshuno, a place that demands the burden of proof even when the truth feels obvious. Here, we do not convict from the gut. We decide together, by law, by evidence, and by the judgment of one's peers. On the charge of racketeering, this court finds the defendant not guilty. On the charge of conspiracy, this court finds the defendant not guilty. On the charge of trafficking, this court finds the defendant not guilty. Mr. Stallings, this verdict does not cleanse your name. It does not silence what has been whispered in the streets or erase the faces of those you've buried in your rise to power. It is not vindication. It is the law. And the law today could not prove your sins beyond a reasonable doubt. You leave this courtroom a free man. But understand this: freedom is not forgiveness. It is a mirror, one that will follow you long after the mainstream media moves on to their next story. Court is adjourned.
I could've stepped on these pussy-ass niggas in these black hat threes. Why you offended by me? Probably cause I ball on these hoes like Angela Reese. Wooded out Drake, these 223 could've chopped down one of them big-ass trees. I carry a bird, so much green on me, I could've went to UNT. These niggas be tenor like Tyson. Mop stick mean, but the flow the nicest. Haircut dazzling diamonds. European wrist, this watch from Iceland. Haters got teeth they biting. If I keep killing beasts, I might get indicted. Big-ass chop, 51 big-ass shots in this air like alien sightings. We have emotion, little baby. Gotta be 4 pocket full just to step on the stage. I've been a street runner. Paint the sky red for my niggas. Ain't never had to ride the wave. Got sick of the streets. We had flu games in the truck way before we had stepped in the J's. I came out the mud, but the clean up nice. I got this shit made.
I've been reviewing some things. Numbers, transfers, partners. The kind of details you claim are buried so deep no one else can read them. Imagine my surprise when I saw references that looked uncomfortably close to Harrison Stallings' establishment.
His lounge is part of a rental circuit for promotional events. Nothing more, nothing less. The transactions are clean and filtered through neutral vendors. Nothing touches your end directly.
That's the problem with clever people. They start thinking their version of clean means anything to me. I asked if my money has found its way into that man's pockets, not if it looks tidy on paper. So answer me plainly. Am I funding him?
No, you're not. The capital you provided never enters his accounts. The event budgets run through separate channels which are monitored by third parties. He profits off attention, not your money.
And yet the prosecutors had his name all over your documents. I can't decide if that's because he's careless or because you've lost control of your own operation. Which is it?
Neither. Harrison's unpredictable, but he's contained. Every time he makes noise, the revenue spikes. He's loud, not dangerous. The public sees him as the face of his chaos. Your name and companies have nothing to do with that.
Unfortunately, after today's spectacle, I don't believe you. I built your company to be visibly invisible, not defiant. You get your entertainment dreams, I clean my money. You wouldn't have a floor to stand on if I hadn't paid for the ground beneath it. So don't confuse good performance with power.
Well, it seems to me power isn't the issue, Mrs. Landgrab. Perspective is. You're worried about optics when no one outside this room even knows we've ever spoken. And if I'm being honest, it's strange hearing you care this much about Harrison's name being near yours, considering you forced him into your family.
That marriage was strategy, not sentiment. It kept him loyal and kept Alea's naive mouth shut when she could have been testifying. Marriage is insurance, not kinship. Don't mistake business for blood. I already understand why you try to keep him close. You keep talking about this he's profitable crap. Bunch of smoke and mirrors to make me feel like the questions won't come. I'm never afraid of the questions. I've buried better people than you for asking the wrong ones. If I find out a single dollar from my accounts is circulating in that bar of his, I'll turn Capricorn Entertainment into a crater and pretend you never existed. I want his accounts frozen out of anything that smells like my money, and I want him reminded who keeps his lifestyle intact, which is you. If he forgets, I'll have him disappear before breakfast. Clean up your house before I decide to fumigate it myself.
Phoenix, I don't even know where to start. Every street, every face, it feels like it's closing in on me. I don't belong in this city. Not anymore. I'll be leaving tonight. I've made too many mistakes, and I know I'll never undo the damage. But you were the one good thing, the only thing that ever felt real. I love you. I always have, And even when I'm gone, I'll never forget you.
Run that back, turbo.
Imagine you keeping me boxed in, obnoxious. Will never give a op no options. I'm locked in. You're not even in top 10, respectfully. I pop shit, but it feel like telepathy. Now let off and wipe the sweat off. Cold bust past bitches. Where the fuck you get off, ho? I stay in Mayuchi Prada, no Gucci Dada. Hermes Emilio Pucci.
You've seen the headlines, you've watched the chaos unfold. But what if you could see more, sooner? On Patreon, members get early access to every episode, exclusive sneak peeks you won't find anywhere else, and the power to vote on how the story unfolds. Don't just watch Capricorn Sims. Shape it. Step inside the circle. Join us on Patreon today.